Hello and welcome to Truckers World for another video. This video is day 2 of my class 1 training. Previous day, just have a quick recap on day 1. I got there, got introduced to my instructor, etc. We had a few little problems with getting out on the road first because of the truck, but that was no problem whatsoever. Got that time extended. Went round an industrial estate, driving around there nice and easy, nice and quiet, then moved onto the roads, and again, fairly easy routes to begin with. Felt quite confident after that, but still mentally tiring. So day 2, didn't get too much sleep, as you would expect. If you've done a car test, if you've done a class 2 test, you know what's coming on these tests. You know what you've got to do, and you know time's ticking. You've only got a certain amount of time. It hangs over you. You can't get rid of it. The only thing I try to do is try and relax, and just, watch maybe positive videos on YouTube, stuff like that. And I did some of my homework as well here and there, but I'll get to that another time. But overall, yeah, I was a little bit stressed and tired. So 8 o'clock start, day 2. And on the first day, I forgot to mention that when I came back to the yard after all the driving, he did take me on to the reverse exercise. And we did the reverse exercise maybe 2 or 3 times. We didn't have too much time, but 2 or 3 times he took me on the reverse. And he taught me through the whole procedure. Never let me do it on my own. Taught me through the whole procedure. And to be fair, he needed to. This is not an easy thing. And he confided in me that, especially car drivers, but certainly some class 2 drivers, really struggle to understand it and get it. And I couldn't understand why, but I'd done a little bit of research, about, turning, reversing, straightening the wagon. Again, I'll come to those tips in another video, but I did a little bit of research to help me out, and it didn't feel as bad for me. Still a little bit tricky, you still got to think, it doesn't come as natural, but I did the reverse exercise, it wasn't too bad, and, I felt a little bit 50-50, to be fair. Some of me felt I could do it, some of me felt, this is quite hard. So the idea was on Tuesday, to get me straight into reversing and actually get me tested with the uncoupling exercise as well, which was, whoa. He showed me slightly on the Tuesday, the uncoupling exercises, and he showed me that. And it, again, fairly simple procedure. Do your homework. That's certainly the best tip. Just do your homework. Remember the name Black. Again, I'll give all these tips out at a later video. But yeah, that was fairly easy, but very easy to forget stuff. So we did a little bit of that training, the uncoupling, the recoupling, and the reverse. But because he was a little bit late on day 2, and I was hoping to do the reverse and the uncoupling on that day, someone else had got on the reverse base before us, because it was, like I said on the first video, there are several different companies doing training. So he said, right, well, we can't do that today. What we'll do, we'll go out on the training routes. So we kicked off straight down on the training routes where I was to do my test. And this is where, it really came challenging. First day, he probably took me around some fairly easy routes. A couple of them were challenging here and there. He did admit he took me around a bit of a difficult one that you'd normally leave till day 3. But even so, these test routes, some of the turn-ins, they were hard. They were difficult to master, even for a class 2. So driving the vehicles on straight roads, slight bends, was easier for me because I was used to the width, used to how much room to take up, used to passing cars and knowing how much room I had on each side. So that was easy for us as a class 2 driver. For car drivers out there, you're not going to find it that easy, I'm afraid. But hopefully that will come if you get obviously an extended day course. Remember, mine's only a 5-day course, including test. Yours probably will be a 10 if you're on a car. So we're doing the routes, and like I said, some of the turn-ins were almost alien to me, and it would be alien to you guys, whether you're class 2 or car, because, for example, when we turned left onto a junction, I was forced to stop because you can't get through, and you can't hit the curb, and he's saying this is fine, you're blocking cars from the right, you're halfway through the junction, you can't go anywhere, you've got to wait for the cars to the left to go, and they eventually do, and then you can go and obviously watch your tail side so you don't hit the curb. But it's alien, and he admits this to you. He says to you, it just doesn't feel right. On your test, you can imagine going and stopping and blocking everything around you, apart from obviously the cars on your left, and it just doesn't feel right. So he says the more you do it, the more it'll feel natural, and it was true. At first, you know, it was very difficult. Some of the right turnings were tricky as well, very tight. You had to watch both ends, your headboard. You know, suddenly see this headboard coming out on your left hand side or your right hand side, and there might be cars there, especially on your right hand side. And you're thinking, my God, is he going to hit that fence? Is he going to this? Very, very scary, very worrying, very challenging on the day too. He had to get me out there, he had to push me, and I felt that he did do that. And I think when I came back to the yard, because all we did was test routes all that day, we had a bit of a break, but we hit the test routes quite hard. After that day, I think that was the first time that I was thinking, wow, I'm starting to doubt myself a little bit here. You know, it's not as easy as it seems. You know, I came back very mentally tired, very, very tired from that day, and then started to worry a little bit. But again, as soon as we had done, he gave the report and the numbers were going up then. He's saying, right, you still need this work. Mirrors were a big thing that you've got to look out for. Keep on your mirrors all the time. He told me 50% of your test needs to be in your mirrors. It's hard to believe that, but it's true. And it just doesn't feel right. But for the sake of passing that test, 50% of your drive needs to be mirror work, no matter how hard that seems to be. But day two, again, it was tricky, it was harder, it was definitely a step up, you know, and a lot more technical stuff. Lights, yellow junction boxes, knowing when to keep clear of the keep clear boxes, all that kind of stuff. You know, it was very, very hard work, but I felt I still took it quite well. But definitely after day two, I was a little bit concerned, a little bit worried. And obviously that you take that tension home with you. It's as simple as that. That anxiety holds onto you and it clings onto you and for the duration. So yeah, that was day two. He was still very positive. Because obviously I was class 2, he knew I was experienced, he was very positive really with me, still gave me confidence boosters, and I think that helps as well, helps to relax you, because you need that. There's no point constantly saying you need to do this, you need to that, you know, you need to focus on your positive points, and also the fact that I've done it, for 2 days, that's it, 2 days, you can't expect to be perfect. So that was day 2. Come back, tired, didn't get much sleep, but day 3 was probably, he didn't mention this, but he said he would get me definitely on the reverse on day 3. So that's when it did kick in, because I knew then that the next day, reverse test, an uncoupling test. And I'll be honest with you, I was thinking, how the hell am I going to do this? But he had every confidence in me. So stick around. I will do day 3 of the diary, and we'll see how you feel about that one. Okay, thank you for watching, and thank you for any thumbs up as well. Always appreciate it. Thank you.